All right, so we are given this function, f of x equals 3x squared times x minus 2 times x plus 3 quantity cubed here. All right, so what we want to do is we want to find the zeros of this function. Now remember, zeros are also called roots or solutions. If we set this equal to 0, right? Also x-intercepts, right? So they all sort of mean the same thing. So how do we find the zeros here? Well, remember, we set each factor equal to 0 and solve this, okay? Now you got to be careful though. Remember, 3 is not a 0, right? That's a coefficient, okay? So actually we're going to have, if you notice, there's 3 different factors of x here, right? There's the x squared, there's the x minus 2, and the x plus 3 cubed, okay? So let's set each factor equal to 0, and then we'll just solve each one here, right? So the first one obviously is already done for us, right? X equals 0. So that's one of the zeros. If x minus 2 is equal to 0, we'll add 2 to both sides, and we get x equals 2. And if x plus 3 is equal to 0, we'll subtract the 3 to both sides, so we get x equals negative 3. Now you notice, however, that the x term, right, has a squared in it, right? So that's called the multiplicity. Okay, so we'll do m for short. So here the multiplicity is 2. Right? It has an even multiplicity. Right? So that means that the graph is not going to go through the x-axis at x equals 0, but it's going to touch it and bounce back. So essentially, there's going to be either a local max or a local min at that point here. For x is equal to 2, you notice, what is the power here? The power is 1. Okay, so the multiplicity is 1 here. We don't really need to specify that if it's 1, but we'll just write that down here. Okay, what about negative 3? What is the multiplicity here, right? Essentially, there's 3 x plus 3 factors here, right? So for this 0, the multiplicity is negative, or the root is negative 3, I'm sorry, but the multiplicity is 3, right? It's odd, so that has an odd multiplicity, right? So main thing to remember, though, is if the root or the 0 has an even multiplicity, okay, then the graph will touch the x-axis at this point and then just bounce back. Okay? However, if the 0 has an odd multiplicity, then the graph is going to go through the x-axis at that point.